So one of the things I quite often hear from both men and women is that they want a man or woman that is spiritual in reference to the same spirituality to which they have. And I have a big question for you in regards to that, and I want you to see the truth of what you're actually saying. So a woman who is a woman or man who is Christian would say that they want a biblical man. They want a Christian man, or a Jewish woman would say, a man or woman would say, I want a Jewish man. A Muslim would say, I want an Islamic man or woman. Brahmin would say, I want a Brahmin man or woman, and so on and so forth. They will say that they want a person of their religion who not only identifies with their religion, but is acting and living in accordance to that religion. But is that what you really want? Is that what you're really saying? I beg to differ. I think that that is not what you're saying. If you really think about it, a person who claims that they want a person of the book to which they believe in is saying that in respect of the cultural reference to which they live in. Let me explain. If you are a person who believes in the Quran, but you live in Dubai, there is a different type of behavior from a Muslim who lives in Dubai compared to a Muslim who lives in Saudi Arabia. You see, in Saudi Arabia, they live closer to the tenets of the Quran, whereas in Dubai, they're a little bit looser. In Jebel Ali, they're a little bit looser. In Bahrain, they're a little bit looser. Qatar, they're a little bit looser in how they live. In America, they are a hell of a lot looser, and they live more of an American Islamic kind of behavior. So an Islamic woman in America may not be compatible with an Islamic man from Saudi Arabia because she has lived the freedoms of America. So therefore the freedoms she would have to give up by being with a Saudi Arabian man are vastly different. Would she be able to live according to that? She can't drive anymore because that Saudi Arabian man is saying that women can't drive. There are a lot of things that she can't do because that Saudi Arabian man is saying you can't live this American style Muslim lifestyle. So even when it comes to Christians, if you are an American Christian man and you wanted to marry a Christian woman who is living, let's say, in Nigeria, well, that is a different type of Christian woman than the ones who live in America. That Nigerian woman has a lot more expectations of her man as far as being the head of the household, financially being the head of the household, morally being head of the household, protecting the household more so. It's a bit different. It's manageable, but it's a lot different. This is why you see a lot of American Christian women, when they marry a Nigerian man, they're not used to how that Nigerian man lives his Christian life because that Nigerian man's Christian life is based on Nigerian Christianity, not American Christianity. You don't even have to go outside this country. You really don't. Give me a Christian from the Bible Belt, from the South, from my home state of Georgia, and give me a Christian from California. Give me a Christian from New York. You're going to get a different Christian out of New York trying to marry that Southern Christian down in the South. That man from down in the South is not going to be the same type of Christian that you get up north. So when you say that, what you're not really saying you want a person who is of your spirituality more so than a person of your cultural spirituality. So when you're looking for that person, when you're discerning whether or not this is the right person for you, you have to take into account that their version of your religious ideas are not the same. You give me a person who's Seventh-day Adventist trying to marry someone who's Catholic, y'all gonna have some problems. You both claim Christianity, but you're going to have some problems. You're going to have some difficulties because the two of you don't view your religion in the same format because you have a different religious doctrine, a different religious thought. So it's not necessarily going to work out the same way. It's not going, One person is going to mass while the other person is going to Sabbath. Y'all not doing this together. It's not working. One person says you can eat this, one person says you can eat that. One person says that during the Sabbath you can't do these things. The other person says during the Sabbath, yes, I can. Was not the Sabbath made for man, or man for the Sabbath? Those are things that are going to come up. Those are arguments. Those are things that you have to satisfy to be able to live. Now, can some people do it? Yes, they can. And the reason why they can do it is because their nationality, their culture, actually comes first. So it's just something I want you to think about when you're out here screaming that I want a God-fearing man. A Brahmin is a God-fearing man. A Muslim is a God-fearing man. A Buddhist is somewhat of a God-fearing man, but not so much this in the same format. A Christian is a God-fearing man. You can have a God-fearing man, but their God is not always the same God that you worship. So when you're doing this, when you're looking for that mate, you want to look deeper than somebody who just goes to church, to temple, to mosque, because it ain't all the same. But what do you guys think? Always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.